Would you trust a politician with 300 million raise? Now imagine that politician is the president of your country. That's exactly what happened. 300 million, not a guess. Not fake, that's the amount, according to a bombshell testimony. Personally handed to former President Lula. Money from Odebrecht, deposited into a personal account made just for him, and the most shocking part, he didn't even try to hide it. On the contrary, he proudly said he didn't wear an ankle monitor, that he chose dignity over freedom. Dignity with 300 million stolen from people? Today, you'll hear everything, no filter. No edits, no fear. Brazil must face the truth. And the truth, it hurts. Antonio Palacci, former finance minister, one of Lula's closest allies, spilled everything. He said he was the one who handed over the money with his own hands. 300 million raise. An early retirement fund for the then president. Bribe money. Laundered, hidden. Prepared for Lula's personal use. Does that sound normal to you? Would you accept that in your company? In your home? But Brazil did. They stayed silent. And Lula came back, returned to presidency with a smug smile and mocked justice in broad daylight. I don't trade dignity for freedom, he said. But what about the people who had to trade their dignity for hunger, for hospital lines, for schools falling apart, while Lula slept peacefully with billions at his fingertips? What were you doing? Chasing work, counting coins at the supermarket, waiting in line for public health care, and him? Jet-setting with Janja in Paris, wearing 10,000 raised sneakers, flying private planes paid by you by the people. Bias, this isn't about politics, it's about shame. Impunity, a system that protects the powerful and crushes the poor for 580 days. He was in prison and walked out a hero, applauded. Celebrated, called a victim of injustice. But let's get to the facts. Palacci revealed more. He said nearly every federal agency was infected. Central bank, postal service, state-owned companies, all working like gears in corruption machine. And those who didn't play along, they were removed or bought or silenced. And you, thinking your vote could change something, while they'd already bought the ending. Remember when they said, it's all political persecution? Palacci said what he saw, what he lived. Even Petrobras was a money-laundering hub. Billionaire businessmen donated millions to get laws passed, amendments were currency. It wasn't democracy. It was a racket, a criminal empire in disguise, and the people? Scrooge used. Tax. Palacci named names, gave dates, shared documents. And what happened? Nothing. Silence. Because when criminals wear fancy suits, their crimes are called governance. Lula vetoed projects that didn't serve the scheme and approved others that fed the beast. Each decision, each signature had a price. Companies promised donations and received billion-dollar contracts in return. Sound familiar? Invest in my campaign, earn on the project. And guess who paid for all this? You, your paycheck, your taxes, your frozen retirement, while they grow Swiss accounts. And return to power, smiling, laughing, toasting in Paris with dirty money. So what can you do? Vote? For who? The same parties that split a $5 billion real election fund. No more private donors. Now it's your money directly. Legally an excuse? To avoid corruption. But corruption just changed names. Now it's law, and you? Still paying. Still silent, still ignored. But let me say it straight. This isn't normal, it's not right, and it cannot go on. Every year, Congress members get up to $80 million in public funds. Discretionary funds. No real oversight. Spend it however they want, and many take a slice. 5%, 10%, sometimes 20%, call it processing fees. And when they're caught, nothing, they get reelected. And the circus continues. You know this. You feel this, but no one listens because everyone's too tired. Too scared, too broken. Palacci spoke with names, numbers, everything. He revealed a companion. He is Siderurgica Nacional case. 50 million promised. 14 million paid. Documented, filed. Proven but ignored. Because here truth only matters if it helps the system otherwise. They shred it, they forget it. And who pays the price? You, every single time. While the rich get richer and the guilty laugh in your face. It's possible. Because no one goes to jail. It's possible. Because no one pays anything back. It's possible. Because everyone pretends not to see. Lula was in jail for 580 days and came out stronger, more popular. Like a hero, but who gave him the money? Who ran the scheme? Who benefited? The answers are there, recorded. File buried under speeches, smiles, and a tired nation that can't take it anymore. Then comes the slap in the face, the audacity. Lula says he didn't trade his dignity for freedom. Dignity? With 300 million in bribe money? With endless corruption scandals? With friends in jail and companies ruined? If that's dignity, what's left for us? For honest workers? For the father waking up at 5 a.m. to feed his kids? For the student who dreams of college but can't afford a bus pass? This is a distortion we live in, where thieves become martyrs and honest people are labeled fools. Where the one who steals smiles on national TV, and the crowd still claps in Janja. The First Lady, wearing 10,000 real sneakers, flying to Paris, living like royalty. With whose money? Yours, mine, ours. And you? You're trying to buy gas on credit. Counting change for groceries, they feel no shame because they know they'll never pay. No one's watching. No one's punishing. And when someone dares speak up, their silence canceled. Threatened, that's today's Brazil, a country where silence is policy. And truth is a luxury, but it didn't stop there. Palachi was clear. Every ministry, every public company was part of the scheme. It wasn't mismanagement. It was organized crime wearing a tie, waving a flag. You still think that's politics? You still believe in speeches? They sold the country in pieces, with smiles, with toasts. And you were just the one paying the bill, with your taxes, with your vote, with your silence. But it's not just about them, it's about you, about what you'll do with this truth. Will you ignore it, or will you face it? Because it's not over there, still there, in power flying high, eating well, laughing. And if nothing changes, they'll keep laughing, while we cry, while we bleed, while we wait in hospital lines, begging for dignity, the same dignity Lula says he never gave up, but stole from every single one of us in Lula. He says he came back because the people had courage. No, the people were tricked, manipulated, sold lies and fancy rapping. He didn't need 300 million. He wanted it. Because greed drives corruption and silence protects it with every ignored testimony, with every buried report. Another Brazilian gives up, another family breaks, another child goes hungry, and still, they smile, still, they raise their fists as if they were victims when they were the ones who caused all the pain. Let's talk numbers. Up to 80 million per congressman every year in discretionary funds, and some take a piece. 5%, 10%, sometimes 20%. And guess what? Nothing happens, they're reelected, praised, promoted. And the system continues unbothered, unpunished, unstoppable. You work your whole life to fund their empire, and when you ask for a better school, a hospital, a road, they say no money, because they already took it. And what do they call it now? The party fund. 5 billion raised of your money to re-elect themselves, to buy ads, to print lies. No companies involved now, just us forced owners. And they still say it's for transparency. Do you feel represented? Do you feel safe? Do you feel proud? They say we're poor because we don't work hard, but it's because we're being robbed systematically. Every day with a smile. And a vote, this isn't just a scandal, it's a blueprint for how to destroy a country from the inside. Using laws, using the system with no gun, no army, just a signature, and a handshake. And Lula? He's back. Stronger, untouchable. 300 million heavier. And a nation lighter. In hope and justice. In dignity. But this video is not about surrender. It's about resistance. It's about remembering. So we don't repeat, so now the choice is yours. Will you stay quiet? Pretend you didn't hear? Or will you do something? If this story made you angry, share it. If it moved you, show it to someone. And if you don't want to live in a country that hides the truth, subscribe to this channel here. We don't stay silent, we show. We speak because Brazil needs light. And while they try to keep us in the dark, we strike the match. Every comment, every like, every voice is a spark and sparks. Create fire, and together we will burn this rotten system with truth, with courage, with you, right here on the Brazil Brief News.